Larry King sat down with the most famous people in the world, but you know, he was just as big a star as they were. That was the magnitude of his impact.
Oh, absolutely. And now many of those famous folks are honoring one of the greatest talk show hosts of all time.
I had no great wish for celebrity. I had no great wish for fame, but I did have a wish to communicate.
The television legend passed away early Saturday at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center after a battle with COVID-19. The 87-year-old reportedly contracted the virus from a home health care worker.
I'm by nature a curious elf. I'm just interested in people. I listen to their answers and I ask questions.
The guy was so strong, and he was the one I looked up to so much about live broadcasting.
From Ryan Seacrest to Oprah, stars paid tribute. I just spoke to Suzanne Summers, who was a frequent guest on Larry's show and a close friend. What would you say would be Larry's greatest legacy?
Larry King could talk to anyone about anything.
When Larry was hospitalized 3 weeks ago, Suzanne feared the worst.
I was kind of expecting it. His health has been bad the last several years. And every time I would see him, he was thinner and thinner. And then he's had so much sadness in the last few years. You know, having 2 children die within a short period of one another.
Larry was definitely a fighter and had his share of health battles. He had a stroke in March of 2019 and was in a coma for a week. But that wasn't his first close call.
Years ago, I had quintuple bypass surgery. 10 years later, I had angioplasty in one of the veins that had closed off. Anybody who's had bypass surgery and a heart attack thinks about mortality a lot.
5 months after his stroke, Larry made headlines by filing for divorce from wife Shawn after 22 years of marriage. ET covered the couple from when they first wed in 1997. Of course, Larry handled their 26-year age difference with his trademark sense of humor.
When did you know I was the final one, Larry?
When you think you have arthritis, it better be the final one because there's nothing left.
Larry and Shawn had 2 sons together, Chance and Cannon. Larry was in his 60s when the boys were born.
Once there was an airplane, airplane, airplane.
Today, Chance is 21 and Cannon 20 years old. Along with their 59-year-old half-brother, Larry King Jr., they released a statement honoring their father, quote, "We are heartbroken over our father's death, and together with our extended family mourn his passing. The world knew Larry King as a great interviewer, but to us, he was Dad. We will miss him every single day of our lives." Larry was worth a reported $50 million and was also known as quite the ladies' man. He was married 8 times and fathered 5 children. E.T. attended his 1989 nuptials to wife number 6, Julie Alexander. But the marriage only lasted 3 years.
The public is much, much less curious over a relationship of mine than they are over a relationship of Tom Cruise.
A broadcasting legend, Larry did over 7,000 shows on CNN and interviewed some 30,000 guests.
Brad Pitt, did you offer him your house for a honeymoon?
No, but I will now. You can come every once.
One more children?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're just getting started.
You're not the average American woman, Megan, admit it.
Well, I would like to think that I
You're not.
am. Okay.
She's terrific. I liked her very, very smart.
His career spanned 6 decades. Our Mary Hart was a close friend. He told her this secret about getting his start in the business.
Do you remember it vividly, Larry?
Vividly. I'm on the air, and I couldn't think of a thing to say, and the station manager kicked open the door and said, "Speak!"
Through all his success and fame, Larry remained humble and grateful for the work that enriched his life.
I think the most fortunate thing in my life is to have known and interviewed great people. It's a hell of a job.
Larry knew how to bring out those special moments in interviews. He will be missed.